morning. My name is Harledt Betancourt. This is my assignment for my last subject in this third quarter of the master's degree, assessment and testing in the classroom. I would like to start with general information about the whole subject. As an outline is the purposes which assessment serves and describe current practices and trends in assessment in different English as a foreign language context. The distinction between evaluation, assessment, and testing. We can find different circumstances of formal assessment, self-assessment, and formal assessment. And we need to pay special attention to what should be tested, what constitutes communicative performance, the how, which test formats, and last but not least, why. To start, we need to understand the differences between evaluation and assessment. Evaluation involves looking at all the factors that influence the learning process. And here we have methodology and syllabus objectives. For assessment, it involves measuring the performance of our students and the progress they are making. We can find this in formal testing, informal, and a test. Testing is synonymous with formal assessment. It is important to understand that assessment means any means of checking what the students can do with language. How do we start making distinctions between types of assessment? Asking the next questions will get more detail about the nature of assessment. We can find when, before, during, or after a language course. Who? Teacher assesses, student assesses, or examining board assesses. A student, various students, or a whole class. What? Language form or language use. Specifies range of language or broad range. How? Formal or informal assessment. Objective or subjective marking. Criterion or norm-based. And last but not least, why? To assess previous learning or diagnostic. This could be forward-looking. Assessment covers a whole range of possibilities like informal assessment, self-assessment, and formal assessment. And two main types of assessment like formative or summative. Informal assessment is a way of collecting information about the students, their performance in normal classroom conditions. Self-assessment can provide useful information about the students' expectations and needs, their strengths and weaknesses in the students' work. Formal assessment to assess course objectives. Two main types of assessment like formative or summative, and we may say that formative assessment is used to check a student's progress during a whole course. And summative assessment is used to measure what has been achieved at the end of the course. Formal assessment can be divided in test type according to different purposes. And we can find before the course, we have the aptitude test. During the course, we can find placement test, diagnostic test, progress test, and achievement test. After the course or at the end of the course, we can find a proficiency test. We can find also in the subject fundamental principles for testing. They serve as a guideline to ensure that a test is useful, appropriate, and effective in the class. We can find the suitable and test characteristics, like the first one, utility. It gives a lot of feedback to assist and the planning of the rest of a course or future courses. Discrimination, the ability to discriminate between stronger and weaker students. Some other desirable test characteristics might be practicality, that it is the efficiency of the test in physical terms, reliability, and that is the consistency of a test. The more formal the test, the greater the reliability. Validity, the most important qualities to consider in the development, interpretation, and use of language tests. As for the objective assessment techniques, we can find that the objective scoring are associated with the testing of aspects of grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation, as well as the receptive skills like reading and listening. It is important to remember that these skills are worked in any kind of the English lessons. Assessment techniques is divided into objective and integrative. As for the objective, we can find transformation, competition, combination, addition, rearrangement, correct or incorrect, matching elements, dual choice, multiple choice. As for the integrative, we can find improved, multiple choice, multiple matching, dictation, information, transfer, and closed procedure. My final conclusions to this assignment, to this subject that is called assessment and testing in the classroom, are reasons for testing. I found different reasons for testing. Testing gives a pedagogical reasoning that the students learn better. They enhance the learning process by identifying specific areas of the strength and weakness. It gives evidence of learning by showing the progress the students have. How to make testing more productive? Teachers might follow 5 steps to help them plan and carry out practical and useful testing methods. The first one, use course aims as the basis for testing. Teachers should ask themselves what they actually need to test their students on. Think about what the students need to do in the real world. Keep the materials from classes in a folder. This might be very useful because then students can use it to make a quick quiz. Students can also look through the folder or lesson notes and write a summary of what they have learned. Use a range of techniques for testing progress to keep lessons interesting and varied. Include some kind of summative assessment and evaluation to finish the course. This could be in a professional way and to give the students useful suggestions for continuous learning and improvement. Alternatives to testing. We can use a test related to what learners need to do next to get students to present a portfolio of their written work. It can be as a daily diary or even assigned tasks with different topics. So something that is very interesting for them. Make a learning plan for your students' future. This could be in any of the assignments we can work in the classroom. That would be very helpful for them. To sum up, I would like to give this thought. Test type should depend on what is taught and how is it taught, with freedom from the teacher to choose the most suitable method available, including all valid forms and adaptations. That depends on every teacher, on every class, from the students they have, everything. These are the references I used to complete this work. And I would like to give a special thanks to Professor Alan Ricardo Aquino Trinidad for reminding me the ways for testing and assess my students in my classes. Thank you.